What's up, guys? It's the Video Game Votary, the Nintendo World Champion. So, as video game collectors, there's different ways you can go. You can go for high dollar, rare, hidden gems, whatever you decide. There's many different avenues you can take as far as collecting. Me personally, I'm a big Nintendo fan. This is a Nintendo content channel, and I'm a Nintendo collector. So, today, I'm going to give you 5 Nintendo NES games that every Nintendo collector and gaming collector should have in their collection. And keep in mind, guys, these 5 games are not in any particular order. They're just 5 games that I feel like every collector should have in their collection, especially if you're a Nintendo collector, even more so if you're an NES collector. Coming in at number 5 is Ghosts and Goblins. Very story franchise, very difficult game amongst a bunch of gamers. There's all kind of videos and content just discussing the difficulties in a lot of early NES games, but more importantly, Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins, known in Japan as Makimura Demon World Village, is a run and gun platform video game series. The first entries in the series for Ghosts and Goblins, released in arcades on July 7, 1985. These have been ported to the release on the variety of personal computers, game consoles, and mobile platforms that spawned several sequels and spin-offs. The main series focuses on the knight Arthur's quest to save Princess Prin from the Demon King Astaroth. The primary spin-offs include Gargoyle's Quest and Maximal Game Series. This series has sold over 4.5 million units as of December 31st, 2022, and stands as the 13th best-selling Capcom game franchise. It has gained a reputation amongst players for its high level of difficulty, as I stated before. The most recent game in the series, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, was released on February 25th, 2021. Coming in at number 4, we have another story franchise, very popular character that expanded into video games, of course, obviously, also TV shows. We're talking about none other than Mega Man, also known as Rockman in Japan. In 1987, action platform video game was developed and published by Capcom for the NES. It's the first game of the Mega Man franchise in the original game series. The game begins the struggle of the humanoid robot and player character Mega Man against the mad scientist Dr. Wily and the 6 robot masters under his control. Mega Man's non-linear gameplay lets the player choose the order in which to complete its initial 6 stages. Each culminates in a boss battle against one of the robot masters that awards the player character a unique weapon. Part of the strategy of the game is that the player must carefully choose the order in which to tackle the stages so that they can earn the weapons that will be most useful for future stages. Although the Mega Man series started out on Nintendo, now on Windows, PlayStation, Xbox, as well as other gaming systems. Coming in at number 3 is another storied franchise for the Nintendo franchise. We are talking about none other than Metroid. Metroid is an action-adventure game developed and published by Nintendo, the first installment in the Metroid series. It is originally released in Japan for the Family Computer Disk System in August 1986. One thing to note, it came out on the Family Disk System and not the NES first. North America received a release in August 1987 on the Nintendo Entertainment System in the Game Pack ROM cartridge format, with the European release following in January 1988. Set on the planet Zebes, the story follows Samus Aran as she attempts to retrieve parasitic Metroid organisms that were stolen by space pirates who plan to replicate the Metroids by exposing them to beta rays and then using them as biological weapons to destroy Samus and all who oppose them. It pioneered the Metroidvania genre, focusing on exploration and searching for power-ups used to reach previously inaccessible areas. It varied endings for fast completion times, made it an early popular title for speedrunning. It was also lauded for being one of the first video games to showcase a female protagonist. Coming in at number 2 is the first entry into one of the most storied franchises in gaming history. Arguably say this is the number 2 franchise for Nintendo, a very, very great franchise, and this game you should absolutely have if you're a video game collector, and also especially if you're a Nintendo collector. We are talking about none other than The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is an action-adventure game franchise. The series centers on the various incarnations of Link, a courageous young man of the elf-like Highland race, and Princess Zelda, a magical princess who is the mortal reincarnation of the goddess Hylia, as the fight to save the magical land of Hyrule from Ganon, an evil warlord turned demon king, who is the principal antagonist of the series. Ganon wishes to use the Triforce, a sacred relic left behind by the 3 goddesses that created Hyrule, to make the world in its own dark image. When gathered together, the power of the Triforce can grant any wish its user deserves. However, if someone with a heart that does not possess a balance of the 3 virtues of power, courage, and wisdom attempts to touch the Triforce, it will split into 3 triangles and bond with 3 people whose hearts embody the required virtue. Okay, coming in at number 1, we have what is considered one of the greatest games of all time. Also some people's grail. I know for a fact, for me personally, this is where my video game history began and where I fell in love with video games, and also with Nintendo in general. We have Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers is a platform game developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. the successor to the 1983 arcade game Mario Brothers, and the first in the Super Mario series. It was first released in 1985 for the Famicom in Japan. Following a limited US release for the NES, it was ported to international arcades for the Nintendo Versus system in early 1986. The NES version received a wide release in North America that year and in PAL regions in 1987. Players control Mario or his brother Luigi in the multiplayer mode as they traverse the Mushroom Kingdom to rescue Princess Toadstool from King Koopa, later named Bowser. They traverse side-scrolling stages while avoiding hazards such as enemies and pits with the aid of power-ups such as the Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, and Starman. Alright guys, so that was 5 NES games that I feel like any collector, especially Nintendo collectors, should have in their collection. Again guys, this was in no particular order whatsoever. It's just 5 great games on the NES that I feel like every Nintendo collector should definitely have in their collection. Let me know down in the comment section, what are some NES games that you feel should be in every collection? Also, let me know if you want me to do any other lists like hidden gems or any other Nintendo console. Let's start the conversation down in the comment section below. And guys, also, if you like the video, it helps the channel out a great deal if you hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and please share it on social media. Follow me on all social and gaming platforms at VideoGameVotary. Until next week.